Well, hello and welcome back to Marvin Herbert's podcast, covering nothing but the truth. We've had an arrangement of our guests on at the moment, and we've covered a lot of subjects so far with the rehabilitation, intervention, gang culture, crime, and everything else. But today we've got a special guest in, just to spread a bit of knowledge, give a bit of information, and just hopefully inspire some young guys and young females out there to do exactly what we've done at crucial stages of your life or important turning points in your life. Yeah, so thanks for coming on, Charlie.
Same, brother, you alright?
Come on. So life is life. We all come from different places. We all travel different journeys. We all come into contact with many different people and many different characters. I only know your journey from a portion of your adolescence. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from? And
Yeah, so grew up in Camden, northwest London, Somerset Town originally, then moved up to Camden a bit further. When I was growing up, Somerset Town had the highest crime rate in the whole country, because it's like in between Euston Station, King's Cross and Camden. So he was bang in the middle of the ecosystem back then, because obviously King's Cross, you had all your nitties, like heroin addicts, crack addicts, your prostitutes, and then Euston, you had it all coming in, and then so it was like a conveyor belt. It'd go Euston, Camden, back down to King's Cross, and I was like bang in the epicenter of it.
yeah,
So like growing up, I'd come out of my ass and there'd be like heroin addicts on the stairs, needles on the stairs, condoms on the stairs, and like growing up that was normal to me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know any different. And you know, growing up in them circumstances around people that are below the breadline, you see some stuff, and your life, you know, don't get off to the greatest start. But when you're young, you don't know any better. Do you know what I mean? That's life. That's what you know.
this is what I was sort of covering with a couple of the youngsters I've been working with, is the way how we were programmed to normalise all this stuff. And I'm going to put it out there because this is what I'm doing now, and at the end of the day, I actually understand, realise and accept that I was groomed as a young man, a young boy, young man, and an adult. And I allowed myself to be groomed to do some atrocious things in my career, my life, and on my journey, you know. So it's a thing in life that I'm sort of coming to terms with now. So I try to get back and help the young kids focus with positive products rather than negative products, you know. And it's kind of difficult to get the message across, but I think with people like us telling them how it is, then there's nothing anyone can really say but, wow, it's true.
And do you know what, like for me growing up, when you come from those environments, you're surrounded by temptation all the time in terms of making quick money. Can't lie, my family life was good, you know. Like, my old dear was a workaholic. I guess that's where I get a lot of my work ethic from. She had like 4 cleaning jobs growing up when I was a kid. Like my old man, you know, he's always been present in my life, so I'm thankful for that. I was lucky enough to, at a young age, make a decision that I believed in myself, that I was worth more. And that came from stepping outside of the ends. Do you know what I mean? Like by the time I got to like 17, 18, I was going to different parts of the country where people that I was knocking around with hadn't even left the manor. Do you know what I mean? Like I went out of my way to go to different parts of the country. I'll jump on a train and I didn't even know where the train was going. I was like a proper float. I just wanted to know what's going on outside of where I was growing up. And the more I saw, the more I knew there was more to life than what was going on around me. And obviously, growing up in Camden, you've got like one of the greatest divides in the world between wealth and poverty. You know, you can be on Regent's Park Estate and then literally 30 seconds away, you've got houses that are worth 50 million quid. So when you see that, you're like, wow, like this, like seeing how people are living literally 1 minute away, not even a minute away, to how we were living and growing up, it made me question, there's got to be more out there. And I always remember growing up, I used to always want to be a director. I used to want to be into film, I wanted to go to university, but I didn't have any idea how to do that. Do you know what I mean? No one was around me saying, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do that, you can do that. Like, people would laugh at you back then in the ends for saying, I want to go to university. Yeah. So I was like, I was just lost. Do you know what I mean? I was lost. So trapped. Because there was no one offering me any information. There was no information readily available to me. It weren't cool to want to be smart. So I kind of took it upon myself to self-educate myself. Do you know what I mean? I spent 2-3 years of my life training myself how to edit, how to use a camera, how to make music. I educated myself on all elements of new media. And, you know, within 3 years of me doing that myself, sitting there at a computer, reading books, myself, off my own back, I put myself in a position where I was competent in all aspects of new media.
Was that before the starting of Grimy Limeys or after? Because you used to do some filming when you were young.
Yeah, when I was young.
Yeah, I used to see some videos of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we used to do like bum fights back in the day. Like mad stuff. Yeah. I've always been into that.
People jumping off bridges.
Into the canal. Yeah, like we done some mad stuff. And it was that led me on to wanting to do something proper. Do you know what I mean? And I remember after spending those 3 years of just crafting and self-educating, and people were like, you're mad, bruv. Like, what are you doing, Sloth? You've lost the plot. I was like, nah, I'm not doing. I tried to get a job, and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a job anywhere. Tried to get a job as an editor, and I was good. Like, I was good. And no one would give me a job. And then this company, Jump Off, took a chance on me and gave me a job. And that was like the start of my career, really. Because they were like the biggest hip-hop company in Europe at the time. They were doing massive events, massive videos online. And I started working for them as an editor. And again, everyone around me in the ends was like, you're an idiot, Sloth. But I knew all this sacrifice of me not making money. Do you know what I mean? The same money my pals were making. Or not being able to wear the clothes that some of my pals are wearing. I knew the sacrifice in the end would pay off because I had self-belief. That's something I've always had, self-belief. I've believed in myself and I've always known that I could do anything. Self-belief is something that you need to instill in yourself. And something that I still do to this day is positive affirmations. Repeat things to yourself. Find things that motivate you and encourage you, or that you aspire to be. It's just programming. That's all it is. It's just programming yourself to believe something. And once you have the confidence to look yourself in the mirror and say it to yourself, after a while, you're going to start believing it. I got this job as an editor. At the time, I was making music. I was producing, writing, trying to rap as well. But I never told them that. I didn't want it to blur the lines between me working for them as an editor and them thinking I'm just working there to get a leg up in the industry. Yeah. And one night they come round and I had some music playing, and the guy, Ara, still part of my team to this day, he was like, what's this music? I was like, it's mine, I made it. He was like, oh, it's alright, you know. He was like, you're fired. I was like, what do you mean I'm fired? He's like, you're fired. You can't work for me no more. I'm like, what? And my son's just been born, do you know what I mean? At this point I'm living in this shed. I'm literally living in a shed with no sanitation. Wow. And he said, you're fired. And I was like, oh, I can't afford to lose the job, mate. I've got to feed my kid. And he's like, I'm going to manage you. And I was like, what? He's like, you're like a mad talent. Like, you're not just an editor. And then from there, things just, things kept evolving. But basically the moral of everything I'm saying there is that I removed myself from my circumstances and created my destiny. And if I'm capable of doing that, anybody and everybody is capable of doing that. And all it takes really is for one person to believe in you.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'll even back you up, because I remember when we were growing up, when I was a bit of a wild case myself with my cousin.
Yeah.
She said, "What are you doing? What are you doing wasting your time with everybody? You ain't gonna make no dough. We got to make dough on this. We got to do that, you know." And I remember trying to pull my cousin away, trying to keep him involved in bullshit, you know. And I remember you was focused, hardcore, and that was when.
And it was always the same with your cousin as well. I used to always, cause like we've been best mates since we was young.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? So like he'd always be off doing mad stuff.
Crazy stuff.
Do you know what I mean? I'd be calling him saying, "Bruv, let's just focus on doing this." And he's like, nah, you're not making no dough. I'm like, "Bruv." And obviously the last time he come home, I was like, this is it now. Just come. Like, we can live a good life away from this. Like, money's not everything. A lot of people seem to think money's everything. Success. For me, success comes before anything else. And I'm successful by my own admission. Like, success isn't warranted or measured in wealth. And it should never be. Like, I'm successful in my field of work. I am the best at what I do, and I believe that. And that, to me, is success. And I care about what I do. I'm passionate about the music, about the artists. So, money's never been a thing for me. I've never been like, I want to do this, I want to get rich. Nah, it's never been that. Like, money's come my way because I'm the best at what I do. It's as simple as that. And once you've got though, you quickly realise it ain't everything.
Yeah, I ain't everything.
It don't make you happy. Like, it's what you do and how you live your life that makes you happy. Do you know what I mean?
And it's, you know what I'm picking up on? The mindset that you had, right? And the never giving up, believing in yourself, creating strategies and plans and just sticking to them. Not being sort of groomed into becoming one of the kids in the flats who was selling gear, like wearing the clobber, hanging about with everybody else, doing what everyone else is doing. You actually broke away because you believed in yourself. So these are the messages that the kids need to understand, because they do things inside that they're not happy with, but they know they're feeling.
But no one wants to do it.
No.
No one wants to be bad.
No.
Do you know what I mean? No one. Like, you know. But I remember you growing up. This guy's crazy. He's an absolute lunatic. Like, before I met him, I'd heard of who he was, you know what I mean? Like, that type of character. Like, everyone knew who he was. Seeing the transformation in you to who you are today, you're living proof of that. And like, you should be proud of yourself for where you are in life and what you've done. Because you was like, anyone who knows you knows. I saw the whole transition. You know, I've seen the whole transition myself, and I think it's incredible. I think it's living proof that no matter who you are or what you do, you can change your life. And I take my hat off to him. You know, I feel that, like, that life, you know, I always say it, you never win. You never win. No matter who you are, you never win. And like, you know, what kind of legacy are you leaving with that life? No one's going to remember you for anything good. So, you know, I tip my hat. I've seen the whole transition, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I think everything he's trying to do for the next generation is testament of the man he's become. For you to come from that space to where you are today, like, you're living testament that no matter where you are in life, it's never too late to turn it around and do something that is worth doing. Do you know what I mean? Because no matter how much drugs you're selling or how bad you are, it don't mean nothing.
It means nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
And it gets you nowhere.
It gets you nowhere. You're going to get nicked or you're going to get killed.
That's it.
That's it.
Or you're going to get shot 5 times.
Yeah, and you know what? There's always, you know, there's always the minority that might make it through and see it through to the end. But it's like 1%, if that. 0.8% out of all the people that you know doing it, that will make it and see it through to the other side and die without being fucking nicked or.
You don't even hear about it, though.
But you don't.
You don't ever hear about people like dying peacefully at home.
No, you don't. Because you're always looking over your shoulder. No, but that life don't mean nothing. And like, the maddest thing is that when you hear people, like, obviously I'm in a world where people glamorise that. Yeah. They glamorise it, and it's not until you speak to some people that you understand that a lot of these guys have never lived that life. Because anyone who's really lived that life don't want to live it. No. It's a means of escape. It's
a means to an end, a means to escape, yeah. So you go out to do what you do, and then to escape all the madness, you go out partying.
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
and
it's
up.
like a cycle, isn't it?
Yeah, vicious
Cycle.
cycle.
And I was lucky enough at a young age to be like, you know what, I don't want this. I don't want this life. Like there's so many things that I've gone through, do you know what I mean? As a youngster.
Yep.
Mad stuff. Like, where I was like, nah, this life ain't for me. I need more of it. I grew up around it. All my family, do you know what I mean? I grew up. So I'm like, I don't want it. And for me, that's why I always try and take time to speak to the youngsters.
And do you know what? That you got to explain that's powerful. Do you know, like, to actually step away, that takes strength. And people will say, oh, he's a pussy. Oh, no, it's not. It's mad strength, bro.
Yeah,
it ain't until I turned my life around that I actually realised how powerful you were as an individual to be focused and driven, right? And there was things I used to overlook as a kid in your characteristics as a person because you weren't carrying a gun. Or you wouldn't shoot someone on sight. Like them, and I think, you can't be having it with him. You leave him in a fucking hole, right? And you think, when I look back on the mindset I used to have, the strength that you had to actually get out, do what you've done and become who you are today is actually phenomenal. And it's something that the young kids can actually focus on to inspire themselves because we come from the same place. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been to Downing Street, you've been to World and back. Do you know what I mean? Like, working for the biggest organisation on the planet, bro, as a head honcho, it's not a joke. So I'm just all about doing what we can for these youngsters and developing whatever we can as an infrastructure work to get them in an environment or a lifestyle or a career which is going to help them sort of achieve all their dreams.
And it's needed. Like, in today's society, it's worse by a million miles than it was when we was kids growing up, because you've got all the pressures of social media.
Yeah.
So you've got all these youngsters growing up whose families are below the breadline, who ain't got no dough, and they're on social media and they're looking at everyone who's got like nice cars, nice fashion wear, nice jewelry, and they're like, I need that. So the amount of pressure on these kids at the minute to obtain those things is outrageous.
And another avenue that they're all getting programmed to believe that these people that own, or all these people that are driving these cars, they don't own them. They don't understand that no one owns all these cars. They rent the cars or they lease the cars and they pay them off every month. Like, the average millionaire cannot pull out £5,000 in cash. Do you understand? They can just about live.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
That's a fact.
And that is a fact.
Anyone who makes money, they don't leave money sitting there.
No, he can't. He gets used in your lifestyle. And
and you've got to put it in places to make sure that
the bills are getting paid.
Yeah, it's not easy.
The food's getting bought.
The more money, more problems. Like Biggie said it, and it's the truth. And like, people aspire to have money and have all these nice things, but with it comes a lot of responsibility. Do you know what I mean? It's not a joke. Like, a lot of people pretend that they live that lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? And they kind of kill themselves living that illusion.
Trying to live up to it, yeah.
And it's a dangerous thing.
We've all done it for years.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? You're out spending whatever you're spending in the nightclubs, and then you go home and can't pay the bills on Monday, Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks you're the guy. So it's about changing the mindset of these youngsters and making them understand that as an organisation, myself, with GMAC, Dispute, we're going to actually create a platform to get these kids into doing whatever it is musically and talently wise that we can create with them with this space, with New Money and GMAC, and just see what we can put together. So the only things that springs to my mind is training these kids and getting them to employment. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I'm pretty sure that with a bit of fine tuning we could create a platform where we could train the kids, make them get a qualification, the Charlie Sloth qualification, and then we can employ them around the country.
And I'm all for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, more things like this needs to be happening for the kids. With everything that's going on in society, all the dramas, I feel like things like this are needed more than ever. Something to give people inspiration, aspiration, and desire and will to better themselves, knowing that they can. Like, if I had something like this when I was growing up, my life would have been so much different. I'd be 10 years further down the line now to where I am. That's what I believe. Like, I never had nothing like this, and there was nothing like this, or there wasn't people like yourself offering to bring people in and give them belief Just belief. That's it. That's all it is. Just a bit saying, look, I believe in you. You can do this. That's all it takes.
And that's producers, artists, engineers, like anyone that's of a standard, we will employ them. And that's what I'm putting out there. But a lot of these kids live on an ego and an expectation, and they don't understand that what their ready is and what industry ready is are two different things.
Mad different. Man, like a lot of work goes into it. Like I'm still learning. Do you know what I mean? I've been in the game 20 years. I've been in here now. Like when you say that, that's mad. I've been in the game 20 years. Like I've not been as big as I've been for 20 years. Obviously, the first 10 years of it was the graft. Do you know what I mean? Doing pirate radio, doing like slogging my guts out, doing self-educating myself, and then obviously the last 10 years, I've been like pretty big years. And people always say to me like, "You smashed it, Sloth." Nah.
We're just getting started.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Now we can live without stress. Now we've got to build.
Now I've got to build.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm travelling the world now. Like I'm not just looking about the UK. Like this is a time. I'm at the stage in my life now where I was when I was 17, 18, when I was like, the world is bigger than the ends, or this country is bigger than London, and where I started going about and just looking and meeting different people. I'm at that stage now where I'm like,
the rest of the world.
The rest of the world, like this country is tiny.
Tiny.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a tiny little island, and for me, I'm like, let's go and see the world. Let's take over the world.
We got links all over the world, right?
All over the world.
So these kids that get these qualifications and get up to a standard, they can be employed anywhere on the planet.
And that's the beauty of doing what we do, like in terms of the entertainment side of things. Whether you're a producer, engineer, writer, photographer, cameraman, editor, they're skill sets that you can travel the world with. Yeah. Do you know
look, the summer you had one of my 15-year-old young kids, young Riley Thompson, on tour over Europe. He smashed it. Done the party in the park.
Smashed it up.
Party, fire in the beach, fire in the park. You know, now he's got to get ready for fire in the booth.
And bro, like honestly, it's things like this that will make a difference, and that will just tip what's going on right now, because there ain't nothing like this, and the government and local authorities need to be investing in things like this, like youth clubs. For a start, there's not many of them left.
We could turn this into a youth
club.
And
these kind of places are modern day youth clubs where kids can come, feel safe, and do something constructive and positive. And that's what's needed. That's what's needed. Somewhere where people can come, where they're not just sitting around smoking. Like that's when things go wrong. Yeah. When people are just plotted up.
You know keep them busy, keep them active.
Keep them busy, keep their minds, keep educating them. Education is everything.
Everything.
And I'm still, because I make it a thing in my life where I need to learn something new every week.
Same here. I have a new word every week, and a new skill every month.
I need to learn. If I don't learn something, I feel like I failed. Like, and there's so many things you can learn. So many things. Like I watch tutorials still. Like, and you know, like when I hire people now, like obviously I've got like quite a big team. So when I hire people now, because I've gone through it all in terms of new media, I'm in a place now where I'm like, all right, that's not good enough. That's not, what you're doing is not good enough. And then if I sit down and I take time with that person and say, listen, what you're delivering was good enough, but what you need to do is go away and spend a week just watching tutorials, and you will be able to do what that is. For example, colour grading. So I had some guy working for me 6 months ago who couldn't grade videos, but like he was saying that he was the best editor, and I'm like, you can't grade your videos, and he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna show you my grade. They sent me a grade, it's not good enough. So I was like, go away, spend a week, educate yourself on grading, and I'll come and see you in a week. So a week goes by, I come back, I'm like, show me your new grade. Show me his grade. It still weren't good enough. So I'm like, you're fired.
So he hadn't been doing the tutorials?
Nah.
Yeah.
Like he didn't take time out of his life. He thought that he was too good to take time out of his life to better himself and educate himself, and that he knew better. Rather than taking advice And you know, everything that I said at the time was said in a positive tone. But that was his rude awakening a week later on when I'd given him advice and showed him how to do something which would better him.
Yeah.
Didn't take the advice, fired him.
Okay.
I spoke to him like 2 weeks ago and he's like, bruv, you know what? That's probably one of the best things you ever done for me. Because now I understand. I understand exactly why you did what you did, and it's made me a better person.
And that's all learning.
Learning.
That's what we do, learning.
Education and learning is everything. Self-education is so important.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's most of the topics covered now. We can do what we can to help all these youngsters.
Give my man some dough. Government, local authorities, pass the bag over to him. Let him open these all over the country and just watch how it changes the youth. It will be a game changer. Needs to happen. Needs to happen ASAP.
Mad, isn't it?
Needs to happen.
Mad.
And you're like, I'm a father. Do you know what I mean? It's so worrying out there. But that's why I moved out of London. I was like, I'm not having it. Not having it. Not having my kids grow up in London. And the pressure of being in London, it's just not happening. And like, you shouldn't have to feel like that. As a parent, you shouldn't have to feel like that. Imagine how it feels for these kids. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's wrong. And like, I'm all for doing anything that I can. Still to this day, like, I'm busy. I don't really have much of a life. I'm always working. Always. But I still make sure I take time out to try and give back to the kids. Because it's important.
That's what I'm doing, but I've just spent the last 5 years, I'm going to do the next 5 years just giving back to these youngsters, changing mindsets, get them in a nice place where they can all go on to live a meaningful life. And that's part of my journey right now. The question I like to ask you, Charlie, just say for argument's sake, we've got a couple of young kids now who are actually gassed up, just about to embark on that journey, getting a parcel of food, carrying a strap, going out, making money on the road, going out partying for years. What advice would you give them, or if you had them in front of you, what would you advise them to do about it?
I mean, the first thing I say is like, take a look at your life and what is it that you want to achieve and where do you see this ending? Because there's so many positive things that you can do with your life to make money, to make a career for yourself. I mean, like, contacting you, you know, with the GMAC situation, obviously you've got the MTK situation with the boxing, you've got the football academy. Contact someone like yourself who can offer opportunities, honest opportunities that can further your career and your life in a positive and constructive way, where you're not having to look over your shoulder every 5 minutes, where the money in the account is your money and it's clean and it's money you can go and buy a house with. It's money you can go and buy a car with. You know what I mean? There's so many positive things to do, and outlets like yours are a great starting block to do that.
Amazing. So anyone involved in music, contact GMAC, Marvin at gmacglobal.org. Anyone involved in boxing, contact Marvin at gmac.org. Anyone involved in football, contact Marvin at gmac.org. And we've got the opportunities to get you trained up and employed in music, football and boxing. And as you can see, we've got the avenue straight through to Charlie. So anything on Charlie's platform is available to you as long as you can reach the standards and have the correct work ethic. Is that right, Charlie?
100%, brother.
100%. Come to the end of another show. Absolutely amazing to have you on again, Charlie.
Pleasure, brother.
No doubt we'll have a little catch up in the next 6 months to a year, see what progress we made with the building. Hopefully the government officials will be back on us and help support the goodly cause to change the mindset of these youngsters. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, hashtag NBTT, nothing but the truth, Marvin Herbert. Take care, God bless.